Welcome to the MIDCONVO podcast.
Let's go.
And it's Paul and Edward, and we're here in Toronto.
We're here in Toronto, and we just got back from a nice little hang with our boy Daniel Schiffer.
If you haven't checked out the episode, it's live. You gotta go listen.
Yep, we're super excited to share the episode with y'all, but we wanted to rip an episode as well. Just me and Paul, just hanging out, sharing some things about Q4.
And maybe this can be an episode that you literally revisit every year going into Q4. And to be honest, we're going to be talking from experience of what we've experienced in our own business over the last, let's say, 5 years even.
Yep. And honestly, it's just a little bit of like a little chat on how to really get ready for Q4 and how you can reinvent not only yourself, but your business.
Bro, that's good. But first, let's roll the intro music. A lot of freelancers are trying to figure out, okay, cool. When's work going to come next? When's my breakthrough going to happen? What should I be focusing on? Because there's social, there's sales, there's my portfolio, there's outreach, do I get agency signed or do I kind of rep myself? And I think going into Q4, it's appropriate to talk about what are some things that you need to do in order to maximize and leverage and end the year strong.
I got two things.
But
let's kill that AC low key. It's kind of loud.
Yep.
Thank you, Billy.
During this time, we're going to do 2 shout outs. There's a gentleman of the name Tori Merritt.
Hey, yo.
There's another gentleman of the name William Aruda II.
Honestly, just shout out to the boys, because if you're watching this on video or you're tuning into our first season of MIDCONVO, all the content is absolutely cooked by these two boys. So
heck yeah.
Appreciate them.
What's the first thing that you that's top of mind when you think
First thing that I think of, non-business related, routine.
You are a routine guy.
If you want to get your Q4 dialed and reinvent yourself, get your routine in check. I know we were talking about this off the mic a little bit. You're trying to figure out what's the best routine for you, a dad of 3. You got like a ton of stuff going on at the house. I'm sure there's people who can relate to that, who are listening to this. Maybe they got so many things going on in their life. How do you plan on tackling your routine a little bit? And because you're literally working through it right now.
Yeah. I think it's Google Calendar.
Chase, get that calendar straight.
I think a lot of people have their own version of time blocking in order to prioritize certain things that need to get done.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, I literally started time blocking lunch, working out, literally time in the morning with my wife, and we're just like, honestly in the Word together. And then even bedtime, bro, with my girls. It's so crazy. But it's funny, but when you have kids and you're also running a business, there's never like a start time and end time for work. But I think even time blocking and being like, yo, at this point, I'm done with work and I'm going to now focus on this is helpful. So no matter where you're at in the season of life, maybe you're single, maybe you have kids, maybe you're married, maybe you got a dog, he needs a walk. I think it's helpful to have routine in that. I know, Ed, you're all about routine. What are some of the ways that you feel like you've been able to get that dialed in?
Well, it's hard. It's different for me because obviously I don't have 3 kids.
You don't.
So maybe there's people that can relate to me on the podcast where like they feel super stressed out, super busy, and they don't even have kids. Maybe they're not even married yet. And that doesn't mean you can't be stressed out with your schedule. Everyone is in a different season of life. For me right now, I still feel super stressed even though I don't have kids. And I think routine is super huge because if I don't have routine, then I don't have anything to rely on in my day. I'm kind of just taking it as it comes. That's like not a good mix, because I then procrastinate. I get down on myself. I know everyone knows what it feels like where you wake up and you're like, I'm going to crush the day. And then it's 10, then it's 12, then it's 3. And you're like, wow, I'm starting my work right now. And then you feel so behind. And then it's this negative self-talk that you're now behind. I'm sure people can relate to that. So for me, routine is really baked into, like you said, time blocking. I've noticed that when I work out in the morning, like, doesn't have to mean like a crazy workout. I'm talking about you can just go outside for a walk. You can just get some sunshine, literally stand on your patio.
Makes a huge difference.
Makes a huge difference because you're starting to let your body know that you're getting ready for the day. I know I've heard this, other people say this before as far as routine goes. Even though you work from home, get ready for your day.
Yep.
Like shower, put on some new clothes, take off your pajamas, wash your face, like get ready for the day because it's triggering your brain to get into that work mode, even though you don't actually go into an office.
That's really good.
And that's huge.
So good. What's the next thing that we're going to talk about?
The second thing that I want to talk about is like your mindset. You want to reinvent yourself in Q4. You want to crush it as you go into the new year. Mindset is huge. And what are your thoughts on like people who have low output, like people who are low key lazy? I'm not trying to shoot any like shots right now, but I feel like some people just don't put in work. And they expect results.
I think my feedback would be is now's not the time to be lazy. I hate to say it, but like any other time during the year, maybe be lazy. Wait for December, like end of December. But I think ultimately, like the reason why we're putting out this episode at this time, and I think it's a good episode for anyone to listen to going into the last few months of the year, is because now is the best time to work with brands because their budgets are being spent in order to, blow their marketing budgets going into December 31st. And then also, man, I think there's multiple articles out there that I've seen on Forbes and Wall Street Journal that gives you statistics on most brands are spending the majority of the money at the end of the year because that's when consumers are spending the most money. So if you're feeling lazy, you got to bust through it right now because the season ahead is the season to make money because December and January might be slow, right?
And honestly, too, like the feeling of, for me, I'm just talking, this is my story. I'm not even trying to like throw shade at anyone else because this is me. I've noticed that when I start getting a little lazy, my workflow, I start to sleep in more. I start to have a harder time like waking up. I get more anxious when I open my email inbox. And then that kind of leads into the laziness because I feel like the pressure is coming on. And I've kind of tricked my brain into thinking when that time comes, I try to snap out of it and either A, go to the gym, or B, try to do something that's small, that's an actionable step that creates output. So for example, let's say I'm down on myself because I got client work or I'm stressed with like a big project or things are just not going the way I want. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to like post a thread today, like a small thing, a small win. And that small win usually creates momentum into bigger wins.
I like that.
And so when I'm feeling, I catch myself in that lazy thought process, your boy's doing something small to get the dub, and then I'm moving forward, and then it usually trickles into more.
That's good. So we got routine, we got mindset. Third thing that comes to mind is action. I want to unpack this for a minute. What are some of the things that a freelancer or we're speaking to people that are maybe working with brands on the photo or video side, or just maybe you're an entrepreneur and you're listening to this. It's like, what do you do right now in order to really double down on this time? And when I say this time, I mean end of the year. And I think the first thing that comes to mind for me, speaking from experience, is I made some of the most money in my business in Q4 because I've been strategic with revisiting old happy clients. So that's one way that you can maybe take action. I think another way is making sure that you're showing up online. So then brands see you and are like, oh, this person's available, or, oh, wow, they're creating this content. No brand's going to say we have too much content to push during the holidays, Black Friday, and the New Year's. It's just not a thing. So what that means is you got to be top of mind. What are you going to do to take action and be top of mind? And I think decision makers are spending a lot of time on Instagram, TikTok. But man, I love LinkedIn because a lot of decision makers are on LinkedIn during the day looking at who knows what. But I'm now speaking to decision makers on LinkedIn, and it's been really effective, especially at a time when people are looking for more content. But what comes to mind when you think of like, what can someone do to take action?
Taking action to me
Put some legs to it.
Yeah, putting some pen to paper essentially is stop waiting around for something to happen, right? Like let's say we're talking to freelance creatives, freelance video shooters, photo shooters, arts, not taking action. An example of that would be, oh, it's slow right now and my inbox is dry. What are you doing about it? Are you just like opening your inbox every morning thinking like, dang, it's still dry, still dry. Before you know it, 2025 is here, the new year, and you're like, dang, it was a slow time.
Wow.
So I think taking action for me, okay, if the inbox is dry, like Paul said, what can I do to take action? Can I make a post? Can I get some friends together and go make a spec piece? Can I make a YouTube video?
Think outside the box.
Yeah. Can I revamp my portfolio? There's like literally so many things that you could be doing if you're in a season of just it being slow.
That's so good.
And if you don't take action, it's like you can't expect anything to change.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really as simple as that.
Yeah. It feels really good when there's momentum at the end of the year, because most people, I'm not going to lie, like, I'm just going to say 9-to-5ers for the most part. That's when they're kind of blowing their PTO for the year and also their vacation time. So if you can bring momentum going into the new year, it's going to be a lot easier to kind of continue those habits that are healthy. I think also it's much more rewarding when you can write things off in your business in Q4 going into obviously the new year, when you're getting leads in your pipeline, when you're getting paid, because it's like, it is a true snowball effect.
Yeah.
People that I talk to that are like, yo, business was just super slow for me this year. I'm like, what have you been doing differently than like, have you been testing things? No, man, honestly, like, I just don't understand. I'm posting consistently. It's like, now is the time to do something different.
Switch it up.
And think outside the box. I've done some crazy things to think outside the box in order to get people's attention. Now's the time to do it.
As you gear up for Q4. There was this one Instagram post, I'm sure you've seen it. I forgot who like originated it, but it was like it was from a podcast. The guy who does like the wisdom podcast, I think. Yeah. But he was saying like, thinking about the thing is not doing the thing. Like planning out the thing is not doing the thing.
Wow.
Like talking with your friends about the thing is not doing the thing.
That's valuable.
Like you have to do the thing to do it. And so I feel like a lot of us, because we're creatives, we live in our head a lot. We're always planning, we're always building, but we're not actually like doing the thing that we're supposed to be. And that was super relatable to me. And I think that you need to think about where you want to go, and then look at your day. Like we talked about routine. What steps are you taking each day to accomplish where you want to go?
Wow.
Even if it's 1%. So let's say, for example, let's take an example. I want to land a bigger video project by the end of the year that pays me X dollars, right? Look at your daily routine now.
Yep.
What are you doing today or tomorrow
to get to that point?
That's 1% more close to, like, getting you 1% closer to that goal of trying to get that bigger video project. If you're just like, oh, well, but that's a goal and I just hope that an inquiry comes in, you're not going to get it.
Wow. I think okay, do the thing, test the thing. If it works, double down on the thing, and then you own the thing.
Wait, is this still a podcast? Homie dropping bars.
No, seriously though, it's like so many people are scared to do the thing.
Yeah.
And then they're not actually testing the thing. And then, dude, if the thing works, double down on the thing.
Yeah.
Build out systems and processes to double down on it. And then get to a point where you're like, I'm going to own it.
Yep.
Right?
As we go into Q4 now, let's each share one thing. What is your thing for Q4?
Man, I have been literally trying to shoot on my new Sony FX3 every single day. And it's been so cool because some days it's just shooting B-roll. Someday it's shooting like video shorts that I'm going to use inside my program. But I literally sent a video the other day to someone that's in my program. He's on the like VIP membership. And he's like, dude, I know you send these videos out to everybody. Like, I don't know what to respond with. I'm like, bro, this is a personalized video for you. And I called him out in the video, and it was shot on my camera with my lighting and everything. Yeah. And I think what's so cool is like, I know that in order to get more comfortable with YouTube, I got to understand the tools that we're using. And I also have been trying to kind of document like my family and like our life in Miami with 3 kids under 3 and running production company. And I think the best thing to do is just like get those reps in. So my thing is trying to get more confident shooting with Sony because I've always been Team Canon.
Real quick though, quick shout out, quick plug for the boy. If you guys haven't already, obviously you're subscribed to MIDCONVO if you're listening to this. But Paul, he's taking YouTube to the next level this upcoming year. And in Q4, he's building it out. So if you haven't subscribed to his channel, go do that because homie is cooking over there.
Yeah. And hey, I will just add to that. If you want to make sure that you stick to a plan, make sure to invest money into it. So like, for example, I am a huge believer in courses and programs. Invest money into a program on lighting if you're bad at lighting.
Yep.
And because there's money invested, it's going to cause you to show up. It's no different than having an expensive gym membership. And investing into YouTube isn't just me buying a camera, but it's also paying someone to help me. And I think that's been a huge help because it's like, it's a driver behind like, I need to get this done, right? But what's on your mind with Q4?
Q4 for me is going to be two things. One is clearing my plate of all the projects I currently got going on.
Yo, if you're trying to hit up Ed right now,
Yeah.
send me all the projects.
I go through these seasons, which is pretty normal, I think I would say, as a freelancer. You go through these seasons of like, holy crap, I'm overwhelmed. I'm working through that at the moment. There's just a lot of moving pieces, a lot of side projects, a lot of side quests, email inbox. I'm like getting back to emails late. I don't know if anyone can relate to this, but that's currently me right now. So I'm definitely in this mode of like, I need to get locked in. I need to clear my plate of projects so that I can think, like have the mental capacity to think. And then by the end of the year, I really want to launch some sort of like community program of my own and really start building like a little locked in community.
Hey, the Everly Posse.
Yeah, like who are just on the same wavelength as me, people who want to grow. And maybe it's small at first and that's totally fine. I'm just trying to find a little bit more, carve out my little tribe in the corner of the internet.
Bro, I give you props for that because I think there's people that have been following you for a while. And I think it's cool to have like, some people have digital products, downloadables, but it's another thing to actually open up a little bit more and show the behind the scenes and behind the curtains of like, hey, this is actually how you can go from this to this. And the fact that you're doubling down on that, I think it's valuable. And I think people that have been following you for some time are like, yo, I want a piece of that. So that's a great goal. And I also think it's going to be exciting once that goes live.
Yeah. And I think for me too, like even just taking my own advice from this episode, I think reinventing myself in my brand in Q4 is a big goal of mine. And I would hope that it's cool that we're getting this on the mic and on the record, because I would hope at next time this year, I'm listening to episode like this thinking like, dang, you put in the work and you reinvented your brand, you reinvented your business. You're at a different leveled up spot that you weren't at before. And that's why I think just having these conversations with another creative, and I feel like anyone listening to this, like I feel like we're having conversations with our listeners, and hopefully you feel the same way from the receiving end. I think we're all just trying to reinvent ourselves and trying to grow our business. That's kind of the goal.
That's good. I love that we're documenting the process. And that's another encouragement for Q4 is continue to document your process. And maybe it's hard, maybe it's challenging, but I think it's something that people actually want to see, especially clients nowadays.
Yeah.
Man, there's clients that'll hire me from a behind the scenes video on Instagram Reel. And I'm like, what did you like about it? They're like, bro, honestly, I just love like how you handled that set. And I saw on your website the final output. But all these things matter. And I'm super excited for everything that's going on in this industry. But man, thanks for tuning into this episode.
Yep. If you have any questions, or in this episode in particular, a little bit more of like a chill one. But if there's anything that spoke to you, or like you're listening like, dang, that really resonated with me. I wish Paul and Ed would talk more about that. Leave a comment down below, or DM us on @MIDCONVO or one of our personal accounts. And yeah, give us that 5-star if you enjoyed it. We're trying to get the podcast on the up, and we really appreciate that.
We'll talk soon. Thank you guys.
Peace.